Hello, Ironbound Jim. Welcome to Taiji and Qigong. My name is Stan Rockwell. Thought we'd finish off the year reviewing a form that folks were practicing in Ironbound before I ever started to work there. It's one that was developed specifically for pain. Paul Lam developed it from the Sun style. It was created by Sun Lutong in the late early 1900s. And Sun Lutong was older when he learned Taiji. He learned a Wu style after he cared for a member of the Wu family who was ill. But he was already a Bagua master, a Xingyi master, which are two other internal martial arts. And he was also a Qigong master. So he kind of put all of those things together into one form. And then in the 80s, 90s, Paul Lam, who was a physician in Australia, but he grew up in China during the Great Leap Forward, which resulted in massive starvation and malnutrition, and he got out of China, but he had health issues related to basically starving when he was a kid. One of the major ones was arthritis, so he developed a form that, if you go back far enough, he has it as a Taiji for back pain, and that was how I came to this form for lower back pain, and it's been very helpful for me for that. But he also developed it also to help with the pain from arthritis. It's also had research done on it for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It's found helpful for that. It's been found helpful for a lot of various health issues. So if you've already had this will be a review. If you haven't, I invite you to come along. We'll do a little bit each week, add on to what we did the week before. And since the video will be available, you can go back and review anytime that you want. But it starts out, like everything we do, with getting your posture, your balance, and your breathing. So remember your foundation, line around the outsides of your feet. Everything inside that rectangle is your foundation, and you want to be centered over it at all times. Feet parallel, shoulder width apart, toes pointed towards the front. Feel yourself really connect down, sink down, and your feet into that floor, even through the floor into the earth. So you have a really solid foundation. You're letting your body relax down, but stay alert. So it becomes hard to get you off your feet. It helps improve your balance. Get yourself equally weighted left, right, front, back, so you can kind of sway around a little bit and pretend you have a pendulum hanging down from an acupressure point in the center of the top of your head, well, the crown of your head, crown chakra, going right straight down through the middle of your body, through the perineum, and have it come to rest right in the middle of that foundation. Imagine the line pulling you straight upwards from that same spot, stretching you higher, making you taller, stacking your vertebrae on top of each other, giving your spine a bit of a J shape instead of an S shape, so your tailbone drops down, your hips move back a little bit, stomach flattens, lower back flattens, top of your shoulders become parallel to the floor, shoulders just relax down the center line, eyes and ears become parallel to the floor, so your head's not tilted in any direction. It's also not tilted to the front or back or to the corners. As you're lifted upwards, the back of your head rises, your chin tucks in a little bit, and your head becomes more balanced on your shoulders again, so that line goes straight down through the middle of you. So you're in a central neutral position and you're not leaning in any direction. Body's nice and relaxed, so you can focus on your breathing. Do a quick body scan. If you feel any tightness, any tension anywhere, just let it soften and relax. You breathe down through your diaphragm, so as you inhale through your nose, pull that diaphragm down as best you can. There's a 70% rule that applies to everything, including this. It's only 70% of whatever you're capable of at this moment. On the exhale, you pull the pelvic floor up to move as much air out as you can. It's like you're doing Kegels. I had one teacher use a metaphor of like you're on a saddle and you're pulling the saddle up as you exhale. And inhale. On the exhale, you can sigh if you want. Let whatever tension is inside just flow out and away from you. And you can touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth behind your teeth. In Western medicine, it disengages the muscles in your jaw so you can't clench your teeth. In Chinese medicine, it connects energy channels. On the exhale, just release that as you breathe out through your mouth. And then just follow me. We're going to do that standard warm-up that Lamb does. So it doesn't include some of the ones we usually do, but if you want to try those, you just look back at some of the videos from the past. It starts with your neck. You let your arms float up with your palms facing. You turn your palms forward you as you press in. You push your head back a little bit to feel some movement in your neck. Turn your hands and you press out. Your arms extend. That principle of song, expansion and contraction. You keep some softness in your elbow, though. You don't fully extend or fully compress a joint. You don't never lock a joint. It's an inhale and an exhale and an inhale and an exhale. One more. Come back to the center. This time it's another one for your neck. Your arms come up again with your palms facing. One hand drops down, palm towards the floor. Other arm folds over, palm towards your forehead. Keeping your shoulders relaxed and moving only your upper arm and your head. Keep the lagong point where your fingers touch your palm and the third eye or the upper dantian connected as you turn 70% of your range of motion to that side. As you exhale, you inhale back to the center. Forehand comes up, palms face. Exhale to the other side, and inhale. And let your arms come back down. Typically, you'll do 3 of each one of these. And the next 2 are for your shoulders, so it's forward shoulder rolls to begin. Remember, if you have issues with your rotator cuffs, you just rotate your arms and make the circles with your elbows. And it's 3 rotations to the back. And then it's an inhale up and an exhale down. Moves on to the back muscles, palms facing, one palm down, one palm up, like you're holding the ball. Overhand rotates out, presses up, upper hand presses down. It's an inhale to the center and an exhale out. And then that's for the back, stretching the back. The next one is rotating just from the hips up, so everything from here down stays still. Got this hand on top, so I'll rotate till the hands line up with the hip on that side. You don't have to go very far, that's far enough. Turn the hands around, keeping the palms facing, and you come back to the other side. And you can synchronize your breathing, so you're inhaling in one direction and exhaling in the other. Back to the center. So we've done neck, shoulders, back. Next are hips. Hands go to the side. Shift your weight into all the weight in one foot. So now that's my foundation. There's no weight in this foot, so that line is around the outside of that foot. Back to the other side and then back. It's an exhale and an inhale. And hands come down, palms facing towards the floor like you're resting on a banister. Shift your weight into one foot. Hands go back just a little bit, and there's no weight either foot. It doesn't matter, but that foot goes forward. Heel touches. Hands come back to the center. Foot comes back to the center. Forefoot touches. If you need to rebalance, arms go forward. Foot goes straight back. Forefoot touches behind you. And again, you can synchronize your breathing. Then we do the same thing on the other side. If you've had any hip surgeries or any kind of hip replacements, just do whatever your physician, your surgeons, your PT folks, whatever parameters they gave you, and even then, go by how you're feeling right at this moment. Don't try to. That 110% thing just doesn't work. It causes injury, and you really can't do 110%. If you ever try to overclock the motherboard on a computer, basically you have fast speed for a little bit and then it burns out. The next couple are for your knees. Shift your weight into 1 foot. Empty foot rotates on the forefoot. It reaches forward, touches, and you punch with the opposite arm. Let the arm extend outwards. And the next couple are for your knees. And if you're working on balance, you can just do it as a kick, like a heel kick or a toe kick. And then the next, you go into that forward bow and arrow stance, archer stance we've talked about virtually every week, because it's a way to have stability in all directions with only 2 feet. So you rotate, step up, so you have some space in between your feet. Just step up, knees stay in alignment with your toes, knee stays behind your toes. You punch with the opposite hand as you exhale, and you get a nice stretch throughout your whole body with this one, and back. It's an exhale and an inhale. And back to the center. Get yourself situated again so your feet are shoulder width apart with your feet parallel. And for the ankles, you shift your weight into 1 foot and it's a heel and toe. Same thing on the other side. And then you pick a spot on the floor, maybe where a couple boards come together, outside and inside the foot touch, as close to that same spot as you can, because you want to focus on the ankle, not your hip. Like doing that, you just there. And you just kind of shake everything out. In live classes, oftentimes Lamb will have people walk around clenching their fists, opening and closing their hands, and just smiling and saying hello to everyone. If I were inside with my dogs, we would do that. But they're staying in where it's a little warmer. But I like the crispness, the low humidity, and chill. Okay. Sun style starts a little differently. If you've ever taken really most any other form of Tai Chi, you've taken Yang style, typically it starts stepping out like that. Sun style, traditional Sun style, starts with sinking down, shifting your weight into your left foot and rotating on your right foot, and your arms come up. Well, Paul Lamb changed that a little bit to make it a little easier. We'll do just the feet first. You shift your weight into your right foot, your left foot rotates, steps up, whatever distance is comfortable for you. It doesn't have to be very far. As you shift your weight into it, right foot rotates, comes up, feet are shoulder width apart and toes pointed towards the front. And you don't really have to even think about it. So I'll face in the other direction so you can get the left and the right. Shift your weight. Up. Up. This is one form I can actually do backwards, so at some point I'll face you and mirror you. But I know in live classes sometimes in places where we didn't have mirrors, that people had a tough time with that too. Shift your weight right, step up left. Shift your weight left, rotate your right foot, step up right. So that's pretty simple. The arms, and this is honestly the easiest form to learn I ever tried to learn. A lot of stuff that you do in the warm-ups, you do in the actual form. And we'll just do the hands of the first movement next. They come up with your palms facing, just like we did before. If they drop down, the fingertips a little closer so you can see. They come up, they drop down towards your waist. They come in, and they circle upward towards your body, then they go out again and then drop back down. So if you're looking at it from the side, arms come up, down. There's a little bit of a sink when you come down, in, up. When Lamb teaches it, he talks like you're making the letter U. To me, it looks a little bit like Wuji, you know, that circle that goes and it doesn't quite come at the end. There's a little open spot there. Comes up, down, and it doesn't quite get back to where it started. And if you put all that together for the opening move, arms start to rise up. That's the first part. Come down. As your hands get towards your waist, you shift your weight into your right foot. That left foot comes up. As your hands come in towards your waist, you step up. As you shift your weight, your hands come up. Step up and back. I'll do it one more time facing it from different angles. Up, down. As you sink down and shift your weight, hands come in, step up, and sink back down again. Try it from the side, facing towards my left. Get yourself nice and straight. Arms come up, down. It's that weight shift, step, step, and then you settle back down. Do one more time this way. Up, down, step, step. Do it the other way. I'm going to do it from all four directions. Up, down, and begin. And then I'll face away from you. Sure you can see the feet. Okay. Nice and balanced in all directions. A little bit of a bend in your knees, and you're just breathing however feels most comfortable for you. As you begin, your arms just float up with your palms facing. Elbows lead the way down, fingertips trail. Shift your weight right. Step left as your hands come in toward you. Shift your weight left as your hands go out. Right foot comes up and you settle back down towards the center. Once more. Nice and balanced. And begin. First movement is just called commencing form. Sometimes it's called open the door or qishir. Opening the door is opening energy gates in your body. I'll face you. And come up and down. The left foot comes up. Open back to the center. And honestly, this move equally in each direction, which is one of the things I like about it. It's nice and balanced that way. So if you're facing and you do this, stepping up with the right foot. If you're mirroring, you're stepping up with the left foot. Doesn't matter. Either way, you're doing this for yourself. You're not in a competition. If you do it with a group of people, it's just nice. Everybody steps up off on the same foot, but somebody can call that out. Okay, so at the end of that first movement, you're here like this. And the next movement is one we've done many times. So it's like I'm holding an energy ball in front of me in here. And I imagine that energy ball is expanding and it's pushing my arms outward, but I'm still pushing against it until finally I'm able to push back in. But it's still resisting. It's just called open and close. Breathe in, breathe out. Remember, you can do this one as a standing meditation. We're only going to do this once, but Just doing it several times just because it feels nice. And a little bit of practice. You keep the Laogang points in your hands lined up and visualize that energy between your hands. And you can bring your hands closer together, see if you can feel some kind of force between your hands, maybe a little tingling in your hands. You can even expand and contract your whole body, like your giant bellows. And you can do that when sitting down too, which makes it, actually you can do this whole, at least the first couple of sections of this form seated, and I'm trying to remember, we'll do that at least one time. So let's do those first two movements. Nice and balanced. But just nice and balanced and relaxed. And begin. I'm going to do it backwards so you can just mirror me. Step up and up. Arms come back down, and then it's open and close. And I'll mirror you again, so you step with your left while I step with my right. Come up, and down, open, close. Just feel like you're in a Marx Brothers movie, and one of us is Groucho and the other is Harpo, or if you're watching the Lucy show from way back when, it'd be Harpo and Lucy, but we're not going to do the spin like they do, though. Just get yourself, for those of you old enough to remember that, who watch the reruns or the old movies, nice and relaxed, nice and balanced. And begin. Step left, reach out, step right, open, close. The next movement is one called single whip. Just shift your weight into your left foot so the right heel comes up, and you turn on that right forefoot in your step. And depending on what shape your knees are in, the traditional way is to step towards that corner, but if you have issues, you can just step out with your toe towards the front. Either way's fine. But I'm going to step with my toe towards the corner. As I shift my weight into that leg, it's almost like I'm going into a bow stance. So the footwork for this one is a weight shift and a step. Weight shift to the left and a step to the right. As you step, you extend your arms. Extend your arms, keep some bend in your elbows though. Then you turn your hands palm outwards. And you separate your hands, your fingertips are just below eye level. Your right hand's going to go about that far. Your left hand's going to go all the way across, and your eyes are going to follow your right hand because that's going to be the dominant hand. So as you extend out, turn your hands out, and it's like you're parting a curtain. I'm going to turn around and do it with my real right and left. So we'll do open, close, shift your weight left, step to the right, extend your arms out, turn your palms out, and you look back to your left. Open, close, step, extend your arms, open, close, single whip. And again, if you've studied other forms of Tai Chi, you'll notice this single whip looks very different from a Yang style single whip. Don't worry about the name so much. We're doing them in English anyway, and I was in a class one time with a teacher who was teaching in Mandarin, and there were a couple of friends who were translating for me, and he would ask actually asked what the name of this movement was, Part the Wild Horse's Mane, and I forget what the Chinese name for it is, but we told him the English version. He was like, ah. Anyway, the names are only important if you're trying to follow along, somebody's calling them out, but what is really important is your body and the energy you're moving in your body. Let's do it one more time. I'll mirror you. Come up and down. Open, close, single. And that's enough movements for one time. Now the next movement though is one I'll just show you. It's one you know before. It's wave hands like clouds, which is another one you can do just standing still, shifting away from one side to the other. There's some Qigong forms that use this. This is the Sun version. In the Sun version, upper hand is palm out, lower hand is palm down. Upper hand drops down like it's going to tap on a drum as the upper hand comes up. And the fingers are just below eye level. And you're going from the hips on one side to the hips on the other side. So that's the next movement. We'll go over that next time. The standard lamb cool down is you come up on your toes, you clench your fist, you inhale, you tighten everything up, and then you exhale, let everything relax. And that has been used in Western psychology for a long time for learning muscle relaxation, where you tense everything up consciously, and then but again, you don't hurt yourself, however tense is comfortable, and then you just let it all relax. One of the things that does is as you tense a muscle, you use up the transmitters in there that cause that muscle to tense until finally they play out and you have to relax. So it's an inhale, up on your toes if you can. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. It's a little bit of a balance exercise and loosening up your leg. You shift your weight into one leg, bring the other leg up, and you drop your hand on your thigh. You want to hit it very hard. You come down. If you're working on balance, you just hold it for a little bit. Same thing on the other side. And in the balance exercises we've done, a lot of folks have found this particular one easier than just lifting your foot. Come back to the center, and then at the end you always balance everything out. So this is one of the first warm-ups they use for shoulders, but really it's another standard Qigong form where you inhale up, energy comes in your palms, yin energy from the earth, yang energy from the heavens, and you press the clean energy down through the way in the top of your head and press that stagnant energy out through those bubbling wells in the forefoot. So inhale up, getting clean air. Exhale out, letting go of that stagnant air. Let's do 6, if I count it right. Thanks for joining me. Stay safe, healthy, well. Remember to practice, and we'll finish off the first part of the first section next time. The entire form has 3 sections, each with 2 parts, one going to the right, one going to the left. Again, kind of mirror image everything. And the final section is as long as the other 2 combined, and that's typical for Tai Chi. Each section is a little longer and a little more difficult than the one before, but like I said, this is the form to learn of any I've ever tried to learn. So take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.